guys, this is Christy Fulk with Create with Christy. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in the U.S. Well, I'm here today with my first Valentine card of 2022. I hope you enjoy it. This is using the Sweet Conversations bundle. And if you like Sweet Conversations, the little, actually I guess they're called Conversation Candy, Hearts Candy, you'll want this stamp set. It's a lot of fun to play with. And I'm using 2 different embossing folders. And I love all the bright colors that go along with the Sweet Talk DSP I'm also using. Okay, if you'd like to stamp along with me, just look down the video description and click on that blog post link below, and you'll find the dimensions and the supply list for everything you need to make this card. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. First off, I'm going to show you the bundle I was talking about. This is a Sweet Conversations bundle. See all those really neat hearts. I really like this set. It is so cute. And here's the die set that goes along with it. So there's some dies that die cut the hearts and standalone dies. This one makes a little mini envelope. So many neat things you can do. I like the tag too. But what we're going to need for stamps, you're going to take the Hug Me, the BFF, and the Love You hearts. You're going to want to take this one here and this one here. The large ones we are not going to use. Then you're going to need the Happy Valentine's Day. And then for the inside of the card, we're going to need the Happy to Have You in My Life and these 3 bold hearts here. And those are all the stamps you're going to need. With the dies, we're going to need both the 2 smaller of the single heart dies. And I believe that is it. Yep, those are all the dies. So go ahead and get those together. Now let's go ahead and get the stamping done first. Okay, this is a photopolymer stamp set, so I'm going to use my Stampin' Pierce mat, and then I've got a piece of grid paper. This happens to be the Stamparette's grid paper, in case you ever wondered where I got the small ones at. Now, this is a piece of basic white. It's 4 1/4 by 1 1/2, and this is what I'm going to stamp the hearts on. Now, whenever you do 2-step, this is at least what I do. I always start with a dark color first. That way, when you go to line it up with a lighter color, you can see through, and you can see the darker down here and line it up a lot easier. So I'm going to grab the BFF heart with my Granny Apple Green ink pad, and we're going to stamp it here. Now, I wanted to go ahead and use the same Granny Apple Green, but I need a lighter version. And this is using the medium-sized heart, the fatter one actually. One is just a little skinnier. And then I'm going to stamp it off, and then we're going to stamp it right here in the center. There we go, and that's not too bad, and it intentionally does not fit perfectly. I'm at an angle, so I'm impressed I got it angled up that good, or lined up that good, I mean. Now I'm going to have to use this heart again, so I'm going to go ahead and get my chamois out, clean it up quick, because that one gets used twice. Now we're going to grab the gorgeous scrape ink pad and the Hug Me heart. So this time I'm going to use 2 different shades of purple. So we've got the Hug Me, and then we're going to take the Highland Heather and get that same heart to color it in that we used before. Now this time we do not have to stamp off, because this is the lighter version. You only need to stamp off if you're using the same color. Now if I am lining these up at an angle, believe me, I am at a really big angle right now. I'm kind of sitting back. It shows how easy it is to line these up. Now the last one is going to be the Love You. So we're going to use Real Red. And this one's a little skinnier. That's why I decided to put it in the middle and have the 2 fat ones on either end. That's not the way I'm stamping it, but that's the way it'll go on the card. So we've got that one done. Then we're going to grab the Blushing Bride ink pad and grab the skinnier heart to color it in. There we go. So now we've got our hearts done. Aren't those cute? And I love how it looks like they're almost watercolored. You've got lighter version and darker shading. I love that. They have come a long way with photopolymer stamps, that's for sure. Okay, now you need to grab that the smallest piece of the basic white color. This is 3 by 1/2 inch. We're going to grab the Happy Valentine's Day stamp and the Real Red ink pad. I was going to stamp it upside down, which really didn't matter. I just have to turn the paper back over again, but that would have bothered me. We're going to stamp this right here in the middle. I love our photopolymer. We can see what we're doing. There we go. So we've got the Happy Valentine's Day. Now that is all the stamping we need to do on the front. But let's go ahead and get the stamping done on the inside too. So grab one of the 4 by 5 1/4 inch pieces of basic white. We've got 2 of these. We are going to take the Happy to Have You in My Life and the Highland Heather ink pad. And we're going to stamp this near the top at center at left and right. Okay, so we've got that there. And I thought, oh, it needs a little more than that. So I'm going to grab the Trio hearts and the Blushing Bride ink pad. Ink these up. Now there is an outline that you can use with this, but I thought it looked fine without using the outline. I'm just going to put this right underneath. And that kind of makes the greeting look a little more special. Now, I also decided we're going to add some designer series paper to the bottom of this. So this one is a 4 by 1 inch piece. I'm going to just put it here along the bottom. So let me grab my seal. You can use whichever side you want, or whichever design you want in your paper, of course. You can always change it up a little bit. Mine's just a starting point. Put this down here at the bottom. I'm leaving a little white showing on the bottom underneath the designer series paper. You don't have to do that, but I decided to do that. So there's the inside of the card. We've got that done. I want you to get those 3 pieces of Blushing Bride. They are all the same size. They're 1 inch by 3 1/4. And then we're going to use the Banner's Pick-a-Punch. And we're going to use this one right here. Let me see if I can get the light on there. That one looks more like a banner. And we're going to stick this in. And with this, you kind of have to put it in this way, and then it'll slide in just fine. It does kind of go down a little bit. Now, I have learned whenever I put this in, I tend to get it in cockeyed for some reason. So once you get it in that in that guide, then I turn it over to make sure I've got it straight. There, that looks straight. Pop it up. And there we go. So we need to do that with all 3. So slide this in. Make sure I've got it straight, and it looks a little cockeyed again. There we go. I've learned that the hard way. There have been so many times I put this in and I forgot to turn it over and it just did not punch right. There we go. That looks pretty good. And now we've got that all done. So now it's time to get our die cutting machine out. Okay, I've got my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine out. To get it ready for die cutting, you need platform number 1. That's a thick base platform. Then the thin die plate on top. Then you need to grab a standard cutting plate, number 3. And then grab the heart strip that we just did. And there's only one each of the heart dies. So this is the fat one. So we're going to have to run this through a couple times. But you want to line the outline of the heart within that opening at the die. Now this tape is Post-it tape. You can also use washi tape or painter's tape. But this Post-it tape that I found really works well. I haven't had any trouble with it coming off my cardstock. So once again, make sure you line that outline right up with that outline. Then we're going to grab another standard cutting plate and run them both through. Take the tape off. And I have used the tapes a few times before I throw them away. You can tell I had to get some ink on that one from my last project. Then we'll get the green one out. And then we will transfer. We just need another of the fat ones. So I'm going to take that tape off, even though we're going to need it again. That way I can see that I've got this lined up really well. Don't need that tape getting in the way. Put this down. And when I put the tape down, I make sure I push down here inside the die, because that holds it down real well. You don't want it just to stick on the outside. You want to stick on the inside of the die too. Put this on top. And we'll be all done with our die cutting, but we've got some embossing to do, so don't put your machine away just yet. Let me get this out. Get the tape off. Okay, now we've got all our hearts. To get this set up for die cutting, and these are regular die cutting, they're not the 3D. You just need platform number 1 and a standard cutting plate. You do not need the die plate. Okay, first off, we're going to use the Gingham folder. This is a new one that's in the January to June mini catalog. And we're going to grab those 3 banners that we made with the Blushing Bride. And I'm going to put these inside here. I think we can get all 3 of them in here. Oh yeah, easy. So I'm going to put these in here, try to have them straight. There we go. That looks pretty good. Bring this down nice and easy. We're going to put this in fold first. And then you need to put another standard cutting plate on top and make sure it covers the folder completely. If you don't have it won't covered completely, it won't get the pressure it needs, and you may not get a good impression, embossing impression on all the banners. So there we go. I love this gingham. Isn't that neat? So I'll kind of put these to the side. We've got one more thing to emboss, and I'm using the Dottie Hearts. I think it's, yeah, Dottie Hearts embossing folders. These fit in our mini embossing machine, but I'm going to be using a larger piece, and I didn't want to get both machines out too, but a larger piece of cardstock that can't go through, but these can go through if you use paper that's not any thicker than this. But this is the one I'm going to use. I'm going to grab my basic white piece. This is the last 4 by 5 1/4 inch piece. And I want to emboss the bottom half. Really doesn't matter. We'll just turn it back over. But I want to line up the bottom of this with the edges of those hearts, not the edge of the folder, because the dots don't go all the way to the edge of the folder. Just line it up with the dots in the folder. I'll bring this back over. And doing it that way too, there's still plenty of room for this paper to go through the embossing machine. Put this, and we'll get it to go through. And we will be all done with the machine. So let's get this off. And I really like this folder. I actually just got this. There we go. So this will be the bottom. So aren't those hearts neat? Hope you can see that in the video. Okay, so let's go ahead and get the die cutting machine out of the way and finish this card. Okay, let's grab the card base. This is an 8.5 by 5.5 inch piece. It's real red cardstock. We're going to line those corners up like so. Grab my bone folder. Get that nice crease in there. Now I want you to grab that basic white piece we just embossed with the hearts at the bottom. And then you want to grab that last piece of DSP. This is a 4 by 2 inch piece. I'm ending up using both sides of this. This is what we used on the inside. This is what we're going to use on the outside. So I'll grab my seal. You can also use the exact same design on both if you want. But a lot of people say, I don't like two-sided because then you have to hide one of them. Well, I want to make sure we didn't hide either one of these because they are really cute. I love all little conversation hearts on this one. So this, oh, I want this on top. I was getting ready to cover up my embossing. You want to cover up the top part, and don't worry, and it looks like it went just fine. If you have some white space up here, we're going to put ribbon across there, so don't worry about that. Looks like I went over just a little bit. I'm going to grab my scissors and cut that off. Okay, easy to fix. And grab a 6-inch piece. This is real red faux linen ribbon. And if you order from me in January and place at least a $60 order, you get this ribbon free. I really like this, and use my host code. You can find out more about that by clicking on the thank you gifts link below, and you can find out how you can get my free thank you gifts. And if this isn't January, just click on it and you'll find out what the current thank you gifts are. So we're going to go ahead and hold this to the side for just a minute. We want to grab our banners first, and I'm going to be putting them on like this, and I'm going to have them go above, get on the DSP just a little bit, have them overlap, and they're going to go on like this. Now, first off, I found it easier to do the center one. So let's put some adhesive on here, and I'm going to have it go straight up and down and near the center. So let me hold on without pushing it down. That way I can move it if I need to. Nope, that looks pretty good for the center. Not going to measure it. Eyeballing it is just fine. I'm going to grab one of these, put some adhesive on this again, put across the top and some here. And this one is going to angle a little bit, just a little bit, not a lot. I think I'm going to angle it. Actually, I think I will angle it a little more. There we go, because I kind of liked it coming off the edge just a little bit here. Okay, and then we can push that down. Then we're going to grab this one, do the same thing, except do it on the opposite side. Get that adhesive on there. Get it at an angle and have a little bit of it hanging off the edge, just a little bit. Okay, now you're thinking, boy, that doesn't look right up here. That's why we're waiting to put the ribbon on. So I'm going to grab some glue dots. I'm going to put a glue dot on each. Oh, there they go. Couldn't find my glue dots there for a second. So push this down really good and then kind of help it up with your fingernail. And then with this being material, you have to help it up just a little bit. Once you stick it to your card, it holds the ribbon on really well. That's why I've been using glue dots for a while now, doing it this way. I used to use my adhesive. I like the glue dots better. So you're just going to wrap this around, make sure that you're covering up the tops of the banners, and make sure that this is straight so the DSP looks right. There we go. So now that we've got that ribbon around the top, let's go ahead and attach this to the card base. Get our adhesive in each corner, a few along the sides. Whenever I have ribbon, I put some on the ribbon too. That way it doesn't pop up there. Make sure your fold is on the left, and then put this right here on the top of the card. Okay. Now we're going to decorate this. Let's grab our hearts that we just die cut. See if I can find mine. They all fell out here. There we go. My hug me, my BFF, and my love you. Now with this being skinnier, I thought let's go ahead and put that one in the middle. And it doesn't matter which side you put the other two. But I thought this one would go down just a little bit, and these are kind of up a little. And I wanted those to be popped up. So I'm going to grab dimensionals. I'm just going to put one on the back of each one. Go ahead and turn these over. And yes, I made a mistake. I used both sides of my cardstock. Every once in a while you see that I made a mistake. I don't want to throw cardstock away. Okay, when the other side is perfectly fine. Okay, we've got that ready to go. So I'm going to grab my Take Your Pick tool. I'm going to put my middle one first. That's the way I usually do. If I do something that I want to center or anything like that, I'll start with the middle one and then line the outer ones later. I think it makes it a lot easier. So I've got my Love You. Then we've got the BFF. I'm going to put that just a little bit. Have it angled along with the banner. And I went ahead and had this one be about the same as the BFF in height, but if you want to have it a different height, you go right ahead. So there, we've got those on there. Now we're going to grab that Happy Valentine strip that we stamped on and grab a piece of Highland Heather. This is 3 1/4 by 3/4 inches. This is just going to go right along the middle of it. So I'm just going to put a strip all the way across since it's so narrow. And we'll get this centered on here. Looks pretty good. And we're going to put this right across here. And I wanted the hearts to be what stood up. So this is just going to be put on with seal. Because I thought the banners needed a little something along the bottom. There we go. And I thought, oh, we need something. We need bling. So we've got the, let's see, these are iridescent rhinestone jewels. They're in the same Sweet Talk suite that all the designer series paper and the stamp set and dies are in. So I'm going to grab my Take Your Pick tool. Oops. Need to screw that back on. This is the putty side. And I'm going to use the large ones. There are 3 different sizes. I want to put a large one right here. So it kind of looks like this is a banner that's been mounted on there. There we go. So now oh no, we don't have the front done. We need to grab that last piece of ribbon. This is a 4-inch piece. We're just going to thread this underneath the attached one and then tie it on with a single knot. There's no reason to do a double knot. I think it looks better with that single knot too. And then we're going to grab scissors and cut the ends at an angle. This saves on ribbon, and it also, I think, is a lot easier. And once you get it on there, if you need to slide this down, and if you don't like it there, you could slide it down and then tighten it back up again when you're done. And I think the knot looks a lot better that way too. So we've got the front done. Let's grab the inside that we did earlier. And we'll just mount this on the inside, and we will be done with this card. But I thought this is a good one you can give to a friend. Have it say BFF. You could definitely do that. Put this right here. And there is my first card of 2022. Well, I hope you enjoyed today's card. And if you'd like to stamp with me again, just click on that subscribe button below. And when that bell icon pops up, click on it and select all. That way YouTube will notify you every time I upload a video and you won't miss any of them. Now, if you live in the United States and do not have a demonstrator of your own, I would love to be yours. And I'd love to send out the first set of current catalogs to you. This is the annual catalog and the January to June mini catalog. This is what the Sweet Talk suite is in. And the celebration brochure. You get free stuff during January, February of 2022. And you can find out more about celebration and all the ways you can get free stuff by clicking on that celebration page link below. And the best deal, you don't want to miss that. That's joining my team, and you get all your Stampin' Up stuff while you're demonstrator at a discount. I have been a demonstrator for over 18 years and I love it. And I'd love to help you make your business what you want it to be. I'll never pressure you to do anything. Okay, now this is if you live in the United States, just click that contact me link below and I'll send your first set of catalogs to you for free. And just give me your mailing address. Okay, here's the card one more time. Again, thank you so much for watching and please support my channel by giving me a thumbs up or commenting below. I really do appreciate it. See you in the next video, guys. Bye.